TwitchCon, a Las Vegas adventure. Welcome to fabulous Las Vegas. The end. Thanks for watching. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. Thank you. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Just kidding. It's not over yet. So planning. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. You have to do a lot of planning to be able to make it to TwitchCon. Especially when you have to move, like go to a different country. There's a lot of planning involved. Setting objectives, which is getting there, and having a place to stay. And being able to afford food. And then developing, I don't know what this is. I didn't actually do any of this. This is actually a few steps ahead of where the journey actually began. Here's a little bit of a backstory. So, probably most of the people here know how I even got there in the first place. Because if I had to pay for any of this stuff, I wouldn't have even thought about going. And it all started with this. I'm definitely not like anybody else.
What makes you unique?
Well, I'm pretty fast. I never really run out of things to say.
I do a little cooking. I've been known to crack a couple jokes from time to time. What did the guy who went to the rodeo for a second time say? This isn't my first rodeo. Get it? 'Cause it was his second rodeo. I also happen to be a famous Canadian.
I'm pretty fresh. Huh.
If that didn't convince you why I should be on the show, I don't know what else I can do.
Okay.
And now we're here. I made it to the finals. I got flown to Vegas already once before. I already knew everywhere to go. This wasn't my first rodeo. The first time we went there, OTK organized everything. They bought the tickets, they paid for everything, we didn't have to do anything. They used their credit cards. This time, that's not what happened. This time, it was, I think, Allied Esports was the planner. So I told them where I lived and the flights that I would have used to get there, and they booked flights straight out of Vancouver. So they missed a couple steps in this planning process, because Vancouver's like a 14-hour drive away from where I live. So they had to get more airplane tickets. So they booked a set of flights from Vancouver to Vegas, back to Vancouver, and then they had to book flights from my undisclosed location to Vancouver. And there were multiple layovers. This is actually a picture I snapped of the carpet at my local airport. It's pretty clean. My uncle was actually sitting right over here. You can't see him in the picture, but he was here. I didn't know he was there. My dad was texting us both because he knew we were both going to the same place. And he was like, hey, is your uncle there? And he texted him, hey, is Nathan there? And we both looked and we found each other. He was like right there. And then I got to Vancouver and I went to the wrong hotel. I forgot about that part. I punched into the Uber, the hotel I was supposed to go to, but there was two. And the first one that popped up was the wrong one. That was like half an hour away. So I had to pay like 40 bucks for Uber to get there. And then I had to pay another like 30 bucks to get the taxi to go back to the original spot. Oh, and that's the wrong hotel. And that was the bathroom in it. This wasn't the bath. I didn't stay at the wrong hotel. And then we went to the right one. So then we finally make it to the Vancouver airport. Immediately swarmed with fans. People asking me to take pictures with them all over the place. I don't know who... Miss Skill... Is that... Miss Skill Shots? And she had to wear the hat because it wouldn't fit in any of her bags. Hello, Oofy. Yeah! Miss Skill Shots walked right up to me and was like, hey, can I take a picture? And I was like, sure. Whatever. And then... we actually got recognized, legitly recognized by Turtle XL, who's here in the chat right now. Or he was like 10 minutes ago. There he is. He walked up to us and was like, hey, are you Navius? And I was like, that's weird. That actually happened. That actually is a thing that happened. In the airport. So I knew Miss Skillshots was gonna be there and we were gonna be taking the same flight. I didn't know Turtle XL. That wasn't scripted, that wasn't planned. Hello, Callie. I was actually sitting next to a garbage can. Because it was the closest to the end of the seats. Like the aisle. And I also saw Mr. Beast. Right there. That's... looks like Mr. Beast. Look at that. Zoom in if you can. It looks like him. It actually looks like him. I only felt slightly weird taking a picture of a stranger. Moving on. The trip. So the seat assignment. I didn't pick my seat. When I got the tickets the first time.
Beach mouse, beach mouse.
Okay, so I didn't pick my seat. I was gonna pick a seat, but it looked like it was gonna charge me extra to change seats. So I sat beside these two people that I didn't know. And about 15-20 minutes before the plane landed, the pilot already said, hey, we're approaching Las Vegas. I said, hey, can I take a picture with you guys? I'm gonna make a presentation on my trip. And they said, yeah, sure. So these are two people that I was sitting beside. And I didn't talk to them the whole time until that last 15 minutes. Because they asked what I was doing, what I was going there for, and I was doing to TwitchCon, and then they said, oh, that's what we're going to TwitchCon too. That guy right there with the yellow hat's actually the streamer. I think his name is... I wrote his name down. There we go. Weary Archon. He does a lot of like retro games and stuff. But that's who was sitting beside me. And then we landed. And the journey actually started. Well, I guess it's already started. I took that picture, it was pitch black. It was pitch black in the plane. And I was like, I hope this works. And if you hold it still long enough, it gathers the light as much as it can, and it actually worked out pretty good. So I had my first big streamer spotting at the Uber spot. There's Dante's right there. I saw him. He was waving. He's like, "Hey, I know you." He was waving to me. Yeah, there's my skill shots right here. But this picture's Dante's, that's who's there. He's the Yordle guy on Twitter. And then the Uber got there. And I have some accompanying photos. There's some pictures. And then we got to the hotel. And we didn't stay in the HyperX arena. We were in the Luxor. The one behind it. The one with the pyramid. Like you can see the line there and then the line there. And the pyramid. I stayed in the pyramid. That's a cool place. I think they've done a lot of staff mixing up and shuffling and stuff because of the way that the organization and the planning wasn't the super greatest. But it worked out in the end. Actually, Foreign had a couple issues checking in. They charged his credit card $1,600. They charged his credit card $1,600. They charged it $1,600. And it was supposed to be all paid for. And they charged his card. And I'm like, $1,600. This song's not exciting enough. There we go. They didn't charge any extra for me. So day 0. But actually it was at nighttime. We went on a little tour of the city with young Jeff. He responded to somebody's tweet and I was like, "Hey, where are you?" And he's like, "Hey, come over here, we're at this place." I think this was at the MGM. And at this table, right here, I don't know if Zion's still here. He is still here. He bought us a round of shots. And guess how much it was for like 6 shots? It was $100. It was $100. He didn't know it was gonna be $100, but it was. Anyways, they were like 20 bucks each. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, 5 shots. We did see a couple other streamers. I snapped this photo of Simply and Diddy. And he's eating some Cheetos minis. He actually offered me some and I took them. They were alright. He's very tall. This guy is very tall. I didn't know who he was until that night. But he's very tall. And I have no more photos of this day. TwitchCon day 1. Learning how to use the monorail. I don't know if anybody here has ever been to Las Vegas. How to use you. Anyways, we left the hotel in our little group. Foreign was sleeping in or something. He had other things to do. So we went, Mr. Fimple, well, not Mr. Fimple, just Fimple now. Yeah, we got Fimple, skill shots, Mayor Warts, and me. And we went up to the thing. You get these little QR codes and you scan them on the machine. we weren't able to figure that out. So we had to go back down to the help desk. The lady came up with us and was like, she just used our codes and it just worked for her. She didn't press any extra buttons. She just was like, here, give me your thing. She did it and we went through. And then we were on our way. Oh, and these are some pictures I took while we were on the monorail. I just did that because that's the direction we were going. So that's the Win. That is the Win casino. You can see it. And I got another one here. And a lot of you have probably heard about the Sphere. The Las Vegas Sphere or whatever. I took a couple pictures of that as well. It's really something else when you see it for yourself. I have another one here. A little closer up. Yeah, this is with the iPhone 15 Pro. I'll give you guys a second to just take a look at this picture and... Okay. Day 1 continued. It begins, for real this time though. Finally made it, I got my badge. I was ready to go. So as soon as you walk in here, basically there's this big PogChamp thing you can take pictures in front of. I didn't take pictures by it. But right after that, there's a bunch of tables. It's the food court was there. So I went to the food court. First person I saw was Suncracker. So I wanted to get my picture. I wanted to walk by, get my picture, pretend I didn't notice him. Hopefully he didn't recognize me. But he did. He's like, hey, is that Navius? And I just kept walking. He's like, oh, must not have been. So and then I took the picture and he's like, hey, that's the guy. That's you. And there's Brewhouse right there. And Teal is over here. He's actually who I recognized first, but he's not in the picture at all. I was just trying to get pictures like this with a bunch of people. That's what I was trying to do. And then I saw Bonnie. Bonnie Rabbit. There's Mara Wirtz talking to her, but that doesn't matter. And then I saw a couple more people. Shit, that was in the wrong order. And then I saw Bob Ross. He's right over here. They're all painting. I didn't actually get to do this. Are you the crack? Yes. Well, I guess so. I didn't paint here. The reception was pretty weak on that end of the place. But yeah, I saw him. He's right here. So I noticed that nobody was at the OTK booth, so I went there for a little bit. Just to meet some fans. Just make sure there was somebody there the whole time. And I managed to catch this moment in HD. This is not a picture, this is a video clip.
For my favorite, by the way.
Thank you. And that was that. That was Emaru. But I did have a couple photos taken. And there's me and Emaru. And then it was time for a break. So I had lunch. There was like the food court inside and there was like some food trucks outside. The lineups were way too big inside. And I didn't understand how the food court worked, because you picked up the plate inside, and then when you left to go to the tables, there were these, like, ATM thing, or that, like, you paid after you picked up the food. And I was confused by that. I never saw that before, so I was like, I don't know how to do this. So I went to the ones outside. And this is actually the pork, tacos with chips. And I don't know why, but for some reason I thought it was gonna be with like French fries. And I was like, I could go for some French fries right now. But they gave like 6 tortilla chips. And I had the option to do, I think it was pork or chicken? Chicken or pork? Or beef? or pork, but these ones are pork. These ones are pork. And it was pretty good. And later that day, I actually heard from somebody else that they ordered the other one and they were sick. They were on the toilet for a couple hours. So I was pretty glad with my decision. I thought they tasted pretty good. They could have used a little more salsa. And then break was over. So back to work. It was a couple hours, they said. I don't know how true it was, but that's what they told me. So I went straight to the Gamer Subs booth. Saw Wake Wilder. If you were walking, you would notice him at least 20 feet away. He's pretty tall. And he's got the man bun too. He's pretty hard to miss. And then all of a sudden, this happened. So I stepped in. I said, "Hey man, leave him alone. Leave Mizkif alone. What did he do to you, really? Like, what's going on?" Oh, also I posted this on Twitter. Exclamation tweet in the chat. It got over 2,000 likes. No big deal. But if you want to look at it yourself, you can type in exclamation mark tweet or exclamation X, because it's not called Twitter anymore. Just if you want to. It's not that huge of a deal. And then after, as a thank you to me, Mizkif gave me this Gamer Subs cup for rescuing him. So, no big deal. I mean, he needed help, and I was there, so I got the picture first. And now we're just gonna continue. I saw Canute. I don't know if that's how to spell his name, but I think it is. There he is. He's a pretty happy guy. Fuck. I got a couple other pictures of him as well. It's the same picture. And I was about to take a picture with somebody else, and this guy walks up behind me. And I don't know who that is. I don't know who this is. But he seemed like a pretty nice guy. And then, when everything seemed like it was going all right, nothing could go wrong. Huge drama. Tectone gets accused of I don't even know what. And then I met him again. So I met him the last time I went there. And he was happy. He was a pretty happy guy. And he's pretty cool. And then that was too much drama for me for one day, so I had to regroup. I had to I don't remember why I took this picture. Fremont Street. We went to Fremont Street. And I found this guy. I was just walking, minding my business. The Boston Be a Man guy was like, "Hey, can I take a picture with you? I know you." Actually, I tried taking a picture and he noticed me and came up to me. I saw him, just randomly. I just saw him there. I'm like, I'm gonna take a picture. And Brewhouse was like, "Hey, you're not drunk enough. You need to step it up a little bit." So he bought me this drink you can't see. Look at this. That was a rum and coke. You can see through it. That's how much alcohol was in this. They said it was a quad shot, but I think there was this much coke in there. Coca-Cola. That was the strongest drink I've ever had in my life. That was full. That was before I drank any of... Well, I might have drank a little bit. There's a little bit of moisture on the straw here. I wish there was more ice in this. That was so strong. It was cheaper. It was the same price as the shot. That was basically pure rum. But the bartender was super cool. I didn't get a video or a picture of it, but he was doing the flips and he was rolling things around his back and his arms and doing weird things and stuff and pouring and blah, blah, blah. It was pretty cool. I wish I caught that, but I wasn't even thinking. That was really cool. Did you tell him stop and just give you the drink already? No. I also didn't pay for it, so I wasn't in a position to make any demands. Oh, then we went to the D to get some glizzies. Has anybody here ever been... I don't know how to word this. I got ID'd when I bought a hot dog. I got ID'd. They said, hey, I need to see some ID. It was like a chili cheese dog. I don't know. I got like a Dr. Pepper with it. And I made some new friends. We sat down. This guy sits at my table. So I'm like, hey, can I take a picture with you? So I took a picture of him. And this is just moments before he is completely out of it, throwing up into a garbage can. He was not having a good night. But we got this picture. I don't know his name. I don't know anything about him. And I don't know how I did this. But I made this GIF with my phone. I don't know how that happened. And then I posted it to Twitter. I was drunk. I was pressing buttons, and that's what came out. I still don't know how to do it. Cheers. And I don't remember what day this was, but this happened. Huh?
You should have won.
I should have won? I know.
I hear that all the time. That's awesome, dude. That's awesome to see you.
He said I should have won.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. What's your name? Don't put that on camera. What's your... Wait, hold on.
Oh, me?
Hold on. Wow. Oh, you're there too.
He was the guy who actually won.
Oh, shit. I thought you were doing a bit. This is terrible.
Yeah.
No, I know him. Someone banned Saman in my channel.
Oh, that's funny.
On both channels, you heard it. That's sick.
Yeah, I thought 100%.
I don't know who you are.
man.
That was so funny. That was.
Oh man. There's extra pip. That was extra pip back there. But that was all on. I caught that on stream. I don't know what it is, but stuff just kept happening. People kept saying stuff. That was funny. Next. Met him again at the VIP lounge at one of the dinners. It's a nice picture. And day 2, I think. All the days kind of just blend together after a little while. I don't really remember which day was which anymore. But I saw S-Vand. There he is. He's smiling for the camera. He's streaming. He was running all over the place. He was streaming the whole time. He was over here. He was over there. He was on the entire time. And then I was alerted to the arrival of the cardboard cowboy. So immediately I ran to the entrance of the convention center. Center? There he is right there. That's the cardboard cowboy. Pretty cool. And I met NMP Lol and Milena. But she's not in the picture. And I'm covering up Nick. So, next slide. Day 3. Probably. More wandering around. I caught this photo of Seer. Probably waving to one of his personal attendants. I don't know what he was doing. Definitely wasn't scripted, wasn't planned. He wasn't like, hey, how about you pretend that I didn't see you. Let me take this picture. That's not what happened. That is not what happened. And then I saw peach jars. And this was immediately before this guy was escorted off the premises for asking for feet pics. She looks kinda grossed out right now. That was because of that. 100% true. She did make a tweet saying if anybody asks for foot pics, she's gonna get them kicked out. So that's what happened. And then I saw this guy, Josh Belmar. And then I took a little bit of freelance photography. Josh was actually waiting patiently to meet his favorite streamer. He's like, hey, can you take a couple pictures of me? I really want to meet this guy. I've been watching him ever since I was a little kid. There he is waiting patiently right in line for Summit. Right there. He's like... That's what he's like. That's what he was looking like. And there he is, talking to him. Summit's like, oh, that's so cute. And he's smiling. They're both smiling. He seems really nice. Everybody seemed really nice. I didn't meet a single person who didn't seem really nice. And everybody smelled alright. I wasn't like, you know what I mean? I wasn't sniffing people. But...
I'm gonna come.
Like, nobody in particular smelled bad. Miskiff smelled fine. I wanted to say something about his hair, but I didn't. I held that back. I didn't smell his hair. I don't mean about the smell of his hair. I just meant like the haircut in general. It was an interesting choice. It smelled fine in the whole place. Extra bonus. Extra bonus. Another time we were on Fremont. We went to Fremont a couple times. We saw this street magician. And I was like, hey, let me show you a trick. Let me give you another trick you can use. It's pretty loud. He's doing his stretches. I'm shuffling the deck. I tell him to think of a card. Hey, Warts. He said it's not a full deck of cards. Ace of Spades. Ace of Spades! I found it! And he was very impressed. It's fine, I gave him $5 afterwards and he was happy. Extra bonus! Some random snapshots I took around Vegas. There's Afghans. This was at a party that cost $30 to get into, and every drink was $20. And it was packed, and we only stayed there about half an hour. And that's a 7-Eleven. I was keeping an eye out for all the 7-Elevens. That's one of the ones I got a picture of. It's one of the higher quality ones, so I used it. And I saw the Eiffel Tower and Caesar's Palace. Oh, and there's another picture of Emaru. The other one wasn't that great. This one's a little bit better. I think that's her, like, bodyguard. I think that was her bodyguard. He was kind of, like, grumpy looking the whole time. And he's got those things in his ears. That's like a bodyguard, security guard type of thing. And that's all the cash I won. I pretty much doubled my money. Gambling. I did 1 slots. I won $40 off that. And then I played poker with all the money that I had. I went there with $225. I came back with just under 5. The second last slide. Please like and subscribe. That's the thing. That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing.